I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, not known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons. And yet, those hands will never hold anything. So, as I pray, unlimited blade works.
Alright, now y'all can call me whatever you want to, but I get hype as hell every time I hear Archer invoke the incantation for unlimited blade works in Fate. Now, I haven't talked about it a whole crap ton yet on the channel or anything, but I'm a big fan of Fate and honestly damn near the entire Natsuverse, right? So the atmosphere and Type Moon media is not really something that you can find pretty much anywhere else. You know, on the outside, it can appear as some dank ass throwaway doujin you can find damn near anywhere online. But for those who don't mind the art and you stick around for the stories, you're going to find pretty quick that the shit hits real different. It's such a weird mixture of romance, horror, fantasy, philosophy, erotica. It's a whole thing, bro. And the only thing I can even think of that kinda has the same vibe would be some of Suda 51 stuff like Killer 7 and No More Heroes. And even when things are trying to be humorous or lighthearted, there's always this undercurrent of dread kind of simmering below the surface. I love that shit. I'll make another video splurging about the Natsuverse some other time though, because right now we're here to analyze the incantation / poem that we listened to at the beginning of the video being recited by none other than our boy Archer. Now he states this before activating his noble phantasm, unlimited blade works. In the Natsuverse, a noble phantasm is basically like a badass special move reserved for the reincarnation of legendary heroes who are summoned to fight in the Grail War. And in order for the homie Archer to invoke his special moves, like a Street Fighter character, he has to invoke this incantation, right? And I say Archer specifically because there are various versions of the incantation depending on if we're talking Archer, Emiya, and because, of course, right, it's the Natsuverse, nothing can ever be simple. If you homies want to see a video analyzing the other incantations and some of the details and the differences, let me know and we can get into those too. I decided to do an analysis of this quote because of how many people online I've seen with the question asking, what the hell is you talking about, bone of my sword? And if you Google Archer, the quote, one of the top most Google questions related to Archer is, what does bone of my sword mean? And also, I just thought it'd be interesting to break down the speech together because I love it so much, right? And I get a kick out of finding the hidden messages and themes and pieces of art that I enjoy. So it was a win all around. So enough blabbering out of me. Let's kind of just jump into this thing, right? So the first line, I am the bone of my sword. So I see this being reflective of the fact that Archer has dedicated his life to the battlefield and that his weapons, they're not just objects to him, right? But it's his very life force and pieces of himself. Masters of martial arts talk at length about how one has achieved mastery when the weapon and individual are no longer separate, but rather the weapon has become an extension of the user and they're able to use the weapon with the same ease they're able to lift an arm or a leg. Now, this level of mastery only comes with years of harsh training and real-world experience, which Archer has and then some. To him, his sword would be the very bones of his body, and they would all be one. Now, steel is my body, and fire is my blood. So in this stanza, Archer explores how his body has become hardened through constant tempering on the battlefield, and how it feels as though the very blood coursing through his veins is made up of the fiery passion and chaos of the constant conflicts that he finds himself in, and the fights that he's endured every day of his existence as a hero of justice. I have created over 1,000 blades. So when we watch the homie get busy in the reality marble, right, with all those weapons lying around, we know that's no exaggeration. But one piece I just want to add here is how much I love the symbolism behind Archer's noble phantasm, the royale, like being an impenetrable shield, excuse me, let me get that out. So Archer has dedicated his life to being a vagabond hero of justice. So his noble phantasm manifesting as like the ultimate symbolic representation of protection, freaking shield was like a really cool and smart choice, you know. I thought that was neat. Unknown to death, nor known to life. I really like this line. To me, this part of the incantation reflects the reality that Archer has survived so many battles and conflicts that he feels physically immortal at times, making him unknown to death. But Archer has also come to realize the emptiness and lack of purpose that pervades one's mind, when they only know battle. In nearly every damn route he's presented in, Archer is forced to give up the possibility of a fulfilling or a traditionally happy life with those he wants to serve and protect, and so he can become that hero of justice that he's made up in his mind, right? Now, while he would not necessarily choose a different path, this also means that Archer is met daily with the reality that he's sacrificing his own life and happiness for an ideal that, the older he gets, seems more and more foolish, making him unknown to life as well. I've withstood pain to create many weapons. This line just reflects the reality of the hardships Emiya/Archer have endured to create the weapons that they have made and reach the level of proficiency is at by the time he becomes Archer as we know him. Yet, those hands will never hold anything. Another line that I love, right? So this line harkens back to the reality of the situation Archer has realized that Emiya has yet to know. The reality that one can make a million weapons, but these weapons will never replace the satisfaction one gets from being able to embrace a loved one in their arms, a sensation he will never experience due to the path in life that he has taken. So as I pray, unlimited blade works. Oh God, I love this incantation, bro. That "so as I pray" part gives me chills every time. I see this line representing the finality and Archer's dedication to the path he has chosen, as well as the acknowledgement that this is the life he asked for. For so long, Emiya sought to be a hero of justice, and eventually he got it. But like that old saying goes, right? Be careful for what you wish for, because you might just get it. And the reality of being a hero of justice is quite a bit different than the ideal that's made up in a little boy or teenager's mind. And there you have it, homies. We now know who is boning the sword and why. I'm jokes aside, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I had a lot of fun making it. Let me know if you guys would like more Fate Natsuverse content in the comments. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Be good out there.